Hey everyone, welcome back to the Devlog series. Now in the previous episode, I talked about IronMic, one of the side projects that I'm working on, and it's a simple project that allows podcasters to generate a website for their podcast. Now, as part of version 2, I still have to make sure that the payment system works well, and it's something that I'm currently refactoring and is one of the more complex aspects of IronMic. However, one of the services that we use makes it really easy to implement recurring subscription payments for our users. So to make payments really easy on IronMic, we use a third-party service called Stripe. And Stripe is a really easy-to-use service, which is not a sponsor, but something that I chose because of their simplicity and because I don't have to worry about the security in terms of IronMic storing credit card information or any of this private data from the user, which we don't have to because with Stripe, it's something that's all stored on their end. And the only thing that we have to do is just integrate their SDKs, make requests to their APIs, and that's it. The main two products from Stripe that we use is Stripe Checkout and Stripe Billing. So Stripe Checkout is the main service when a user creates an account on IronMic, they click subscribe, and then they're entering the Stripe Checkout product and flow. After that, it's actually the Stripe Billing product that handles the recurring subscriptions every month, for example, with a monthly IronMic plan. And the only thing that we have to worry about is to integrate Stripe into the IronMic API. So we use Stripe's node.js SDK, which simply just makes requests to Stripe's API. So with the flow that the podcaster would go through is first, of course, they sign up on IronMic, they create an account, and at that point they're on a free plan, they're just testing out IronMic, they're able to preview their website, but then they decide, okay, I want to add a custom domain, I want to take advantage of the premium features. So, okay, they decide to click the subscribe button, which upgrades their plan. Now, at this point, we make a request, we use the Node.js SDK that Stripe provides, we make a request to their API, to get a checkout session URL. So we generate this URL and then we redirect the user. Now at this point, the user is redirected to Stripe's checkout dashboard. And at this point, they can select a plan previously on IronMic's dashboard, but once they're redirected, they can change that if they want. And of course, the most important part is they can enter their credit card information. Now, since this is all done on Stripe's side, again, we're not storing any information regarding the user's credit card, or different payment options. They can use like Google Pay, Apple Pay. That's the other nice part about Stripe is that we don't have to worry about integrating all these other payment types or payment options because Stripe just handles this all on their side. So at this point in the flow, the user has decided their plan and they entered their credit card information. So once they hit the checkout button after that, it makes a request to one of our webhooks on IronMic's API. And what this allows us to do is to know, okay, was the user able to subscribe successfully? And if so, we can go ahead and change their user's account status to say that, okay, they're subscribed, which is very important because at this point, they're redirected back to IronMic. And since from the webhook step, we're able to update their account status, we're able to show, okay, awesome, you're subscribed, you're on the premium plan, and we can show any of the premium options like adding a custom domain, for example. So real quick, I also want to just talk about one of the main reasons why I like Stripe, besides the fact that we don't have to implement this payment system ourselves. I really like how Stripe just focuses a lot on developer experience, meaning that their documentation is really good. It's easy to browse through. They even provide the code samples. So for example, the documentation is on the left side, and then on the sidebar, there's code samples. So for certain API methods that you need to call, the Node.js code, for example, the current language that you want to integrate into, that'll be on the right with the sample of code, and it even includes the API key there as well. So let me go ahead and walk you through. I'll show you first a demo of IronMic v2 and how this actually works. Shout out to Kyle because he worked on a lot of the v2 design. So you're going to get a sneak peek of that. And of course, I'm going to show you also the code in the IronMic API that's powering this integration. All right, so let's take a look at the demo to see how this currently works in IronMic v2. Again, Kyle did an amazing job with the design for this and the front-end components. So let me go ahead and create an account here. I'm going to create a test account, of course. So go ahead and register. Now it asks me for my podcast name. So we integrate with iTunes here to search for the podcast. And there we go. So Sunny Commutes comes up. And right now, when it's importing the podcast, it's reading the RSS feed of the podcast and then pulling in all of the data. So now I'm in the dashboard. I'm going to click on billing. And right now, as you can see, I'm on the free plan, which is very different in V2 since V1 didn't have a free plan at all. So I click on premium. Here I'm giving an option to be billed monthly, or if I want a discount, I can pay for the whole year. So I click on upgrade. This is where it's getting the checkout URL from Stripe's API, and I'm being brought over to Stripe's dashboard. So I can enter my card information. Now you might be thinking, do I enter my real credit card information here? No, so Stripe again thought about this in terms of developer experience. So I can just enter the number 4242 and keep repeating that for the credit card number, enter a valid future expiration date, anything for the CVC. Let's enter my name here, my zip code, all right. And right now it's, making a request on Stripe's end, but it's also, once it's done, it creates a request to our webhook. And there you go. Now it says I'm subscribed to the premium plan. And when I click on manage billing, this is where it just brings me back to Stripe's UI, Stripe's dashboard. And here I can update the plan, cancel it, manage my payment information, and so on. But if I go back, as you can see, it knows that I'm on the premium plan, and that's how it works. Very simple. We don't have to manage a lot. Stripe's doing it for us. But let's go ahead and walk through the code of how this actually works. Here, of course, I'm not going to show you everything, but some of the main parts. So first, as you can see in this API here, we're importing the Stripe node.js SDK. Really simple to just install the NPM module. It's called Stripe. And then this particular API first that I'm going to show you here is Stripe checkout session. So this handles creating the actual checkout session URL. And this is when the user essentially clicks on the upgrade button. So this is really simple. As you can see, I'm setting up first the Stripe SDK in here. So the Stripe SDK is set up here. I'm passing in the API version. And then once I'm actually sending a post request to this API, this is using Feathers as the framework, by the way. So then we create the Stripe checkout session using this method call here. And then finally, we just simply return the entire session object, which contains that URL that we end up redirecting the user to. So the second API that I want to show you is the Stripe customer portal. So this handles the scenario after the user has already upgraded and they want to manage their payment information and their plan. So essentially same setup here, except that I'm calling a different method to create a billing portal session URL. So this call is a little bit simpler here, but same idea here, and I return the session object, which contains the URL that I end up redirecting to. So the last part that I want to show you is the webhooks. So the webhooks are it's simply an API that Stripe calls when certain events happen on Stripe's dashboards. And so here we just set up different, basically callbacks to different events that Stripe can call. Here in this case is completed. So this is, you can see I added a comment here describing what this does. So completed the Stripe checkout session, essentially after they've subscribed to a plan. And this is where I patch the user's API and I set the is subscribed to true. So now we can show to the user, okay, they've subscribed successfully. There's other webhooks that we can implement. For example, if they cancel a subscription in a Stripe customer portal. So here again, same thing. Then I'm updating the user and I'm setting that their is subscribed field is now false. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. I hope not only that was interesting, but also you learned how to use Stripe, or at least how we're using Stripe at IronMic to power the payments feature. So with that, I'll catch you on the next devlog. Peace.